Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. I've got another nature walkthrough. This time I'll be showcasing some of my travels to the Buffalo Creek Forest Preserve. It's part of the Lake County Forest Preserves, and it's located in Long Grove, Illinois. It's very close to the Buffalo Grove, Arlington Heights, Wheeling sort of area here in Illinois. Hope you enjoy the music, hope you enjoy the scenery. So this is one of my favorite spots to look out in the park. There's all kinds of different angles to look at this little creek. I'm assuming this is the Buffalo Creek. It's a very serene body of water most of the time, especially if you're there on a not too windy day. It has such a reflective nature, and I often see herons that are looking for food, and they're just kind of like perched in the water, very patiently waiting. Here's a shot of one in flight. So this is coming up to one of my favorite lookouts. On both sides of this bridge, you get a really beautiful shot of the water. And on this particular day, it was a nice autumn day, very serene, not a whole lot of activity in the water, not a whole lot of wildlife either at this particular time. It was super calm water, and you could see the reflections of the autumn trees in the water, which was really cool, made for some cool photos as well. I sped up the time there, and there was a lot of walking on different bridges, so if you continue along the path, getting along to the other side, this is one of my favorite views. There's often a lot of birds here, and you get a beautiful kind of 360 view of the creek. So I thought I would just show you guys some of my favorite walking spots and viewing points at Buffalo Creek. Now in this part of the video, at this point, I'm going to show you some of the wildlife I've encountered, whether it be bugs, any kinds of insects, spiders, different birds. I've encountered a lot of wildlife, some of which are little bugs that sometimes have come home with me inadvertently by like getting stuck to my clothes or anything. So I'm excited to go through some of those, and I will try and point them out. I'm definitely not an expert on identifying these things, So this is one of the insects that decided to travel home with me, and I believe it to be a very, very young nymph stage leafhopper. They look similar to a locust or a grasshopper. You can see some of the bodily similarities here, even though it's very young and immature. Super tiny though. I'm going to zoom out later and you'll see just the scope of how incredibly small this is, but definitely looking sort of like a cicada or a locust or something, as well as a cricket. It's interesting how these things are all very similar in some of their morphology. Zooming in here on what I believe to be a migratory grasshopper. There were tons of grasshoppers in the Buffalo Creek Forest Preserve, especially on sunny days. They really like to, literally true to their name, be in the grass. Really cool looks to these guys. There's also, I believe, varieties of migratory grasshoppers called red-legged grasshoppers. I don't believe I saw any of those, but if you happen to know what type of grasshoppers specifically these are, what I'm seeing from the stuff I've looked up is that they're varieties of short-horned migratory grasshoppers. And then I saw a really big one that I will tell you guys about in a second as well. I found on the ground. It looked like it was ready to die, unfortunately. That did make it easier to get a close-up video of. I believe this to be a type of differential grasshopper. It was very big in comparison to the other ones I showed, but tons of grasshoppers here. If I'm not mistaken here, what we're looking at is a Pennsylvania ground beetle. I see them all over the place when I come to the Buffalo Creek Forest Preserve. Goldenrods and reeds, and at this time of the year, as they're blooming and ripening, they look kind of cool as their seeds are getting ready to disperse. Pear tree was expressing some very beautiful autumn colors. So I thought it was cool to come across multiple garter snakes. I've seen them on the go a lot. Unfortunately, I've seen a couple dead ones. I did get some up-close footage of a couple of them. I'm sorry if that's gruesome for anyone, but I think they're beautiful, dead or alive, and it's cool to get some up-close shots of them. That's really not going to happen when they're alive, and I would never want to freak one out. I also saw one that looked like it was probably on its last, I can't say last legs since snakes don't have legs, but it was definitely on its way out the door as well. Didn't want to spook it or anything, but it was cool to get up close and just look at the beautiful specimen, and hopefully it went quickly and without too much pain. Caterpillar. This is a tiger moth caterpillar, so it would have eventually become a tiger moth. Unfortunately, I think this one was dead as well. Milkweed plant, the internal portions and the seeds. This is a spider I came across in the bathroom of the rest area at the Buffalo Creek Preserve. I believe this to be an eastern parson spider. They have a very cool design on their body, and we do not kill spiders in my household. We are lovers of spiders. Anytime we come across one, or even if it comes into my home, I will never ever kill a spider. I'm an absolute lover of them, and they serve a great purpose in our natural environment. So I love spiders. Definitely no shortage of frogs and toads at Buffalo Creek as well. This is an American toad, I believe. I have loved toads ever since I was a little kid. I'm not sure why, but had to catch him real quick and befriend him and you'll see he kind of gave me like a little high five at the end, so I think we were cool. Definitely lots of geese to be found here as well. You can see some making their way to the water here. They love the water. I think it's so cool how they move so uniformly and swim in such a straight line. Obviously we know they fly in a V, but they just move in a very orderly fashion. Here's one more shot of a heron very gracefully flying over the water. Here's another spider. This one found its way home with me. It was in my clothes. I was surprised because jumping spiders are usually pretty skittish, but this was a very adorable, I believe, zebra jumping spider. I've seen people even keep these as pets. Apparently they make amazing pets. This one was beautiful though, and you'll see a shot of it even going for a nice, glorious jump. But this is a beautiful spider. These things can get decently big, I think, too. Here we see some mingled geese, I believe. I thought the white goose in the group was a snow goose. The other, I believe, are like kind of more standard Canadian geese. But they definitely hang out together. I'm not sure if they're the same species or if they're different like subspecies, but this one's definitely a bigger, thicker goose. Almost even looks like a duck, but it's got like a really fat, red-colored beak. And it sort of seems like it's just trying to fit in with the other Canadian geese. So I thought that was cool. If you know more about this phenomenon or what's going on, or is this like a duck, or is this an unrelated bird, let me know what's going on if you're in the know in the goose world. I think it's interesting that they're hanging together. This is a beautiful Hentz orb weaver spider. Absolute beast of a specimen. Gorgeous appearance. Straight up hairy. Looks like a tarantula as you get close to it. It's got a huge fat body, and it's true to its name, it's weaving an absolutely gorgeous and intricate web. I saw this right outside the Buffalo Creek Forest Preserve in one of the adjacent neighborhood front yard areas, I guess. Gorgeous orb weaver. I believe this is a crowned orb weaver. I found this one in one of the facilities as well on site at Buffalo Creek. I believe it was in the bathroom stall as well. Absolutely gorgeous looking spider. Its body is a work of art. To send you guys off, this is one more shot of my personal favorite, another adorable American toad. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in the very next video.